Guess what I'm up to today? I'm making a no sticker spread, not one, not two, but 5 of them. Hello everybody, this is Priya here. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning. And if this is the first time, thank you so much for taking some of your precious time to spend with me. Hope all of you like today's video, and today is a whole bunch of no sticker spreads. I will have the hashtag. If you want to join, feel free, just tag me and I would love to see what you all come up with. And I do have a whole bunch of stationery and goodies from my stash out. For the first week, I'm bringing in some eyeliners along with some doodles to go on top. I know this is nothing fancy, I'm just trying to do something different. Just trying to bring in some of those spring pastel colors. Again, trying to make sure I do not dirty my table or the work surface. Just bringing in like a cascade of colors around the spine and just keeping it simple onto my Pigma Micron, and I will be doing the doodles on top, especially against the colored background. Those doodles actually pop, and I thought it would be a nice effect. I'm just going with basic doodles, nothing too fancy, and always keep a scrap piece of paper under the work surface so that you can be sure you don't get it on any space you don't want them to. Just finishing off with some basic washi tapes from Planything, and just trying to see what else I can bring in so that the colors can coordinate. Just using that stencil to bring in a couple of extra elements in that I'm using the same Pigma Micron. Just filling in the last couple of doodles. And I know it's nothing too fancy or nothing too elaborate, but you're keeping it simple, doing something different. That's all there is to it. On to the second one. And this time I'm bringing in some scrapbook paper. This was part of a larger pack I had picked up from Joanne a while ago. So bringing in my paper trimmer and just cutting off some portion of it and then ripping it to fit the corners. Keeping it simple here. Just the corners. And gluing it down. Making sure I do not get the glue or the tape runner on any other surface. So just basic scrapbooking technique. And onto the stencil. This one was from Desert, and I'm just using the oval one, just whiting that inside and just some scallops along the edges there, using it as a mirror or a frame and just hanging it there. Same thing on the other side. And that's a nice size Muji. I think it's 0.7. It's not too thin. Yeah, just one more picture on the other side. And going with some more washies. Doing some layering there. Just basic ones, basic layering. And I think that should be good because I don't want to take up too much space. And adding a couple of lines using the Myliners and some stitches using the Muji pen. And onto the third one. This time I'm bringing in the inks, And I have these Memento Dewdrop and some of the stamps. And going with the script, I will link all the products, including the stamps and inks. And again, lining some of that scrap paper along the edge so that I can do some stamping and yet not take too much of that functional space. And I should have re-inked that. Going back because it's too light. I'm just trying to make sure I line it up properly this time. Yeah. It's a bit messed up, but it's okay. And that should be the base. And now that I notice it, it's again, I stuck to the same corners on both the spreads. And I have stamps from Heidi Swap, Coco Daisy, and also some of the generic ones from Bo Bunny. I will try and link as many products as possible. These, I believe, were from Coco Daisy. And trying to mix in some of those pastel colors. And I just had all the elements on multiple stamping blocks all laid out so that I can just go quick with those stamping. And bringing in some smaller twigs and berries and branches and all that, and a coat from Coco Daisy, bringing in some more of those florals, just trying to balance out some of the colors. And now comes the coat, and went with something very springy. And I also bring in more elements to actually make it more fuller towards the middle, including the circle, which I believe was from Heidi Swap. Just trying to fill in that circle with more foliage. When you're not sure if it will damage your surface, just keep a scrap piece of paper underneath, bringing in some smaller elements, trying to bring in those pastel colors again. And trying my best to fill up that space, but it looks too faint. So going back with another round of using that black VersaFine ink. And even then it did not go perfectly together. I mean, that was not the look I was going for, but I did have another round of ink in multiple colors, and the bird looking on to both the birds are looking to the right side, but I thought that was a nice element. And bringing in another color just for some dark green leaves onto that circle, just so that it can look a bit more fuller towards the middle. Bringing in just a couple more smaller elements for the middle part, using the same colors out there. And this is another thing I like to do when I want a clean edge along certain lines. You add a scrap piece of paper underneath, and the rest of the ink will be on that and not on the pages. On to the fourth spread. And here I'm bringing in some stencils and some distress oxides. And this is actually a layering stencil. And as you can see, I will link all the colors. And each layer has to be built one by one. So that is why I have multiple colors, multiple sections being used to build that layer. So as you can see, it is just like a coloring, and you are just building the elements one by one, adding dimension and bringing in some border using my Pigma Micron, and just highlighting some of those petals and some of those components in there so that it can give it a very unique look. It was the first time I was using this, so as you can see, I'm just figuring it out as I go. And it is these 4 colors mainly, not 4, 5 colors mainly, and it is about giving some of that dimension. And I wanted to use this stencil because I've had it for almost a year now and I had not touched it. So this was a nice excuse to do that. And again, I used the same technique to bring in just the outer edges of the pages together to do something on them so that when taken apart, it will look as if just the outside portions of the pages are decorated. So on to that last flower before I come and add doing some cleaning for sure, because I don't want, especially with the distress oxides, it can get onto your pages and I do not want that. So just layering them, just bringing in the colors, different elements and the different elements that you can add to actually bring in a lot of depth. So once you have the final product, then you will see what exactly I mean. And now bringing in the smaller elements in between to add some more color. And this is kind of the outer element of that. And I think these were from the Heidi Swap. And I wanted some more at the bottom there. And the VersaFine ink is actually my favorite ink when it comes to solid black. That the color is Oryx black. So that is the outline all done. And onto the last spread where I'm bringing in the Zig Clean color dots. This was one of the ideas I had shared in my Zig Clean color dots video, and I am adding a few dots in multiple sizes, multiple colors, all along those garlands that I made using the Muji 0.7. So just keeping it simple and yet very colorful and fun. It does look like a celebration banner to me. And adding that black just to make all the other colors pop. If you haven't tried the Zig Clean color dots, it's kind of slightly pricier than the others, but these definitely bring so much fun to your spreads and pages. And adding that last bit of decoration using the stencils, again using the Zig Clean color dot as a pen, because this is the other tip. And it's such a fun product to have. Have you used them? It's quite popular, so hence checking. So please let me know. So that's my entire month of May all done. And here also I have a tracker, and I just used the stencil from the Happy Planner to draw that in. I'm sticking to no sticker challenge here also. So let me know in the comments which of these you like the most. So for the first week, we brought in the mile liners and my Pigma Micron 10. I will link all the products below. And the washi tapes are from Plani Thing. The second week we came with, again, the washi tapes are from Plani Thing, and the scrapbook paper. This was from Joanne. I just used my Muji 0.7 to draw in a few lines and those stitches. And I brought in this stencil, which was from Daiso. That stencil from Daiso, and just the basic ones. So some of the mile liners I think I went a bit harsh, so there is some bleeding here. And onto this page we brought in a whole bunch of inks, the Memento inks in 4 different colors, and the stamps are from Coco Daisy and Heidi Swapp. And Bow Bunny, I will try and link everything. So this is week 3 on to 4. This is the layering stencil that I had picked up from Ivana's stencils. So this is, I think, a layered one. It can be used for a lot of things. So just different elements I brought it in. And I also brought in these inks at the very last with this mint green. The color is New Sprout. And I brought in the black is Versifine from, these are all Sukineko Japan, and these I just outlined it with my Pigma Micron 10. And this is the last week. I brought in the Zig Clean color dots, and again these arrows are from that stencil from the Happy Planner, and these lines are using again the Zig Clean color dots. So let me know in the comments which of these you like the most. It sure was a struggle, and I did take some time to do this. I don't think I will be I don't have the luxury of spending this much time for every month, because stickers are so much easier. So if you have to do everything from scratch, you have to put so much thought into that. So I liked this challenge, and I might do this sometime later. Please feel free to join this. I will have the hashtag and all the details down. If you're joining me, please make sure you tag me so that I can see what else I could have thought of, because this was a quick 5 or 6 ideas just came to my mind. Easy, nothing too fancy, but it did take me some time, as I had to take out all the stamps, the stamping blocks, all the inks, and my table is a big mess, I have to be honest. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked today's video, and this was a different one for sure. Hope you will consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification so that you will be notified every time I have a video out. And I will have my Instagram details down in the description as well. Please come hang out with me there. And I will try and link as many products as I can, because some of these are older ones and they may not be available, but I'll try and link the shop if that is the case. And I do have an affiliate code for Planything, where all the washies are from. So she just had an amazing summer release, and 24 washi tapes were in fact released. So please check out the shop. I will have all the details down in the description. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in my next one. Bye.